Good morning, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching and just the overall matchups for today, the 8th of October. It is Wednesday. We do have a 4-game division series slate ahead of us today and this evening. We have elimination games in all 4, actually. The ALCS series are 2-1, and both ALDS are 2-1, and the 2 NLDS series are 2-0 right now. So 4 teams looking to advance to the championship series on Saturday, I believe, is day 1. Nothing to worry about from a weather standpoint, from my understanding. We just get 4 games. Some very interesting scenarios. A lot of outs props that are super low. And I will bring those on screen in a second. Just a reminder that this is a very first look at the options. I will be looking mostly at DraftKings since that is where a majority of my action is. On FanDuel, you probably, in the postseason, can play basically the same pitcher pool. We're really not relying on getting a quality start over there much with the quick hooks going on in the postseason. And especially with backs against the wall for teams, there's going to be some quick hooks today, 100%. And we have Toronto basically going bullpen game. Eric Lauer could go a few innings, but it's virtually a bullpen game after his bullpen let him down yesterday. So it's very interesting. A very interesting decision. Their wildcard round, or not wildcard, division series round roster basically told us that they were going to rely on bullpen games. They only carried the 3 starters for the series, with like Scherzer left off, Berrios and Bassett on the injured list yet. So it's very interesting dynamic in that series. But let's just jump in. We got about 12 minutes to kind of go over each game. Seattle, Detroit. Bring this here. As you can see from an outs prop, Casey Mize at 9.5. So he's going to pitch into the 4th inning. Bryce Miller, 11.5. Basically, probably 4 innings, maybe 4 1/3, 4 2/3, etc. Obviously, Seattle has a little more going for them in that they are up 2-1. Bryce Miller finished the season not the greatest over his last few starts. Had a couple solid performances, but he's just not that dominant. His overall numbers just aren't that great. 17 home runs allowed in 90 innings. It's a large number, especially when you pitch half of your starts this season in Seattle. There's K upside in the matchup. He hasn't faced Detroit yet this season, but his upside's kind of capped. Walks, plenty of hits, etc. He hasn't pitched for 10 days, which isn't terrible. He just wasn't very good to close out the season. Obviously, that was against the Dodgers, but even before that, Colorado, in a great spot, kind of let us down. So it's kind of tough. A lot of the Detroit lineup is struggling enough with K upside that I think you can sprinkle in just a little Bryce Miller. I just don't necessarily love it. Casey Mize on the other side wasn't bad in Cleveland in the wild card round. Solo home run. Just walks, just not any strikeouts. That could obviously change here. Seattle's bats have awoken a little bit. He did make 2 starts against them during the regular season. Strikeouts weren't an issue. Just base runners were runs. I think he has more upside for us today than Bryce Miller, despite believe Seattle is the favorite, Detroit is actually a minus 115 favorite. It's very close to a pick 'em at this point. But I think Mize, despite having the lower K prop, or outs prop, is actually in a better spot for GPP purposes. He does have a lower K prop. Both of them sit at 3.5. Bryce Miller's juiced to the over. Casey Mize is actually juiced to the under. But, if I'm kind of weighting these guys by what my projected ownership might be, I think I'm going more Mize than Miller, despite what the props say at this point. Maybe that comes back to bite me, but that's just my gut feeling on that as we stare it down. Milwaukee and the Cubs. We get Quinn Priester, I hope. We thought he was going to be the long man in Game 2. That never came to fruition. Priester's outs prop sitting at 12.5, juice to the under. So basically 4 innings. Jameson Taillon's 11.5, juice slightly to the over. So basically 4 innings. Taillon looked pretty good against San Diego, but even then only pitched 4 innings. Counsell's just going to go to the bullpen as soon as he can. Unless Taillon's just absolutely mowing down the Brewers, I expect the bullpen arms to start being up in the 3rd inning. That makes it super tough in the spot to want to go to Taillon. He has made 3 starts against Milwaukee this season. Not the best of starts by any stretch of the imagination, but put up a 20 spot in this one. Was pretty solid. Got lit up here. That's obviously less than ideal. And then 21 in this one. So, 2 starts and 1 not good start at all. So, I think Taillon's in play just because he's solid enough as a pitcher. But of the 4 pitchers that we looked at, or 3 so far, but 4 including Priester, he is the guy that I want the least exposure to. Just because, Milwaukee lineup just isn't beating themselves. On the other side, Quinn Priester, we thought he was going to throw Game 2 as a long man, never came out. Expected to be a traditional start in this one. But, as we mentioned, a 4-inning traditional start, maybe. Makes it tougher to rely on him. 3 appearances versus the Cubs, not very good. A lot of walks, not many strikeouts, a lot of base runners, runs, etc. Less than ideal in that regard. I think it's decent, though, just because, his overall numbers actually strike me as being better against the Cubs than they've shown because of his, slight reverse splits lean, and that comes into play. But the Cubs also just aren't performing that well right now. Priester's certainly in play. I'm not sure where he'd fall compared to Mize and Bryce Miller. Has a little bit more leeway, obviously with the team being up 2-0. But still, the Brewers will go to the pen pretty quickly as well. So it's less than ideal. I'm probably going to be fairly heavy on Priester overall, just because I do think he has the most leash to him compared to, aside from Yamamoto, really. In this scenario, we're just looking for innings out of our pitcher because, if all those other guys aside from Yamamoto go 3 or 4 innings, all their returns are virtually going to be the same because they're getting pulled in 3 to 4 innings because they're not exactly racking up strikeouts. So there isn't going to be much of a separator. So I would prefer to use the pitcher in these questionable scenarios that might have the longest leash, which is weird to say considering Milwaukee's going to gladly go to the bullpen somewhat early as well. Toronto at New York. We get basically the bullpen game for Toronto. Lauer got lit up by the Yankees 3 days ago. I don't really expect him to be a super long reliever. He does have 3-4 inning upside, 5 inning upside. And depending how the Yankees stagger their lineup, it could make or break, whether Lauer goes 1 1/3 or 3, to be honest. Not overly excited to use him because we just don't know when he's going to come in either. It's not a guarantee that he's going to follow Louis Varland right away. Varland could, in theory, go 2 innings. After last night's big issues with the 2 home runs allowed, I would think he goes just an inning to try to get him back out there and in a positive environment, but he's going to have to face Judge right away after last night's at-bat. So we're just not considering Varland on this slate, I don't believe. The only reason you could consider him is if you think all these other pitchers get yanked by the bullpen early on. Varland can match the K upside then, in just an inning, with the upside to 2 innings where he could strike out 4 because of the stuff he has. I just don't think I can play that angle right now. Cam Schlittler, the talk of the baseball world with his wild card round start. Couple that with the start that he finished the season with against Baltimore, and you see 21 strikeouts over his last 15 innings, just 7 hits allowed, just 1 walk. That's the big thing. The walks haven't been there. 1 or 0 walks in each of his last 3 starts. The problem here, Toronto, he did shut them down the one time he faced them, but didn't pick up strikeouts. They're the first time he faced them. Allowed too many base runners, but kept them off the scoreboard for the most part. The second time they got to see him, they absolutely lit him up in 1 2/3 innings. Again, as many walks as strikeouts. That's the worry here. Toronto, against starting pitchers, just do not strike out. The fewest strikeouts in baseball. Last night, they did strike out a bit against the bullpen. Bullpen's arms are volatile, and, they come in throwing hard, some nastier stuff in short spurts. Strikeouts tend to go up against those arms, but Schwartler's been phenomenal this season as a rookie, but this matchup is not ideal. Now, with that said, he has the second best outs prop on the slate at 14.5. It's basically a pick 'em coin flip at 14.5. So we're looking at 4 to 5 innings. I have a hard time seeing him going more than 5 based on the matchup. But obviously, if he's rolling like he did last time out, then sure. Certainly can happen. But I'm not betting on it. He's probably going to be the second or third highest owned pitcher on the slate. The highest owned pitcher will be Yamamoto. Easily the highest props. 17.5 with juice on the over for the outs. Shut down Philadelphia the one time he faced them. Has been better on the road, I think, this season. Yep. His overall numbers have just been phenomenal on the road. His K numbers aren't as strong, but overall numbers are just super strong. 1 or fewer earned runs allowed in 6 straight starts. Just coming in a great stretch. Got to avoid some walks. The Phillies do have some power. But Yamamoto, the number 1 guy. The other side, Aaron Nola. Here's the issue. His outs prop is 8.5. Just the over, but 8.5. So 3 innings. And there's talk that Ranger Suarez is available to piggyback with him. Or will for sure. I mean, unless Nola's dominating, you almost have to think that Nola's going to go 3 and then Suarez is going to go 3. And if that happens, neither guy's going to be viable. Nola's just not going to be good enough. Plus, the matchup is horrendous. Now, obviously, Nola's been there and done that in the postseason. So I think there's a chance that he blows his outs prop out of the water. It's a small chance, but the chance is there. So for that reason, I do want to sprinkle in some Nola. Kind of turn back the hands of time. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. I will drop links in the description below. Best of luck, everybody.